very pro Lula. So this girl that I was friends with from Fortaleza, she really liked Lula. She hated Bolsonaro. And then this other girl, she was from Mato Grosso. She was from a town called Gorancho do Norte. She hated Lula. She loved Bolsonaro. She was a lawyer. And if we tried to talk politics, if I tried to criticize Bolsonaro, she would say, "You just don't know Brazil." And I don't know if it was if the ecosystem's different, if the media ecosystem or what's on the radio in Mato Grosso is different than what's in Fortaleza. Do you know a lot about the geography and why Mato Grosso is so pro Bolsonaro?
I think I have the answer for it. So first of all, Fortaleza is in the northeast of Brazil. The northeast of Brazil has been known by being the poorest region of the country for long years. There was a huge migration from the north and the northeast towards the southeast of Brazil, the most industrialized region, Rio, São Paulo, Belo Horizonte. And this migration was about some factors, like the northeast and the north of Brazil are not industrialized. It has like a very harsh weather. During summer can be like 45 degrees, and they have problems with dry outs of the rivers and all this kind of like environmental situations that make it impossible for people to settle down in certain locations. And so historically speaking, the northeast region has always been the poorest in the country, even though like the whole colonization started in the northeast in Bahia. With the election of Lula in 2002, great part of his programs were focusing in fighting poverty, but not only poverty, but fighting, let's say, food scarcity, poverty. I mean, he was doing some sort of like welfare back in the days, a welfare program that would affect, of course, the poorest, levels of society. But what we've noticed is just, of course, like great part of these funds were going to the northeast because of the necessities itself. But this like what kind of us, let's say, a bit more like to that side of the left, usually says as the only mistake in Lula doing this welfare program back in the days is just because he didn't build so much of a path for these people to self-sustain in a certain way. What has been done, it was like to create new consumers to that economy that was booming in the beginning of 2000s. And from the moment, for example, external factors like the crisis of 2008 hits Brazil, suddenly this population has been helped by this welfare program suddenly shifts away from Lula, from PT. PT is the Labor Party, and because like they see their consumption power that they just acquired through this like 8 years or 10 years of like the Labor Party disappear in front of them. And of course they start to search for like solutions, who just like sort out the situation now that I'm not a consumer anymore. And although this happened all over the country, but Lula somehow managed to keep the northeast, especially the northeast, as a very loyal voting base for him. So because they were the ones who got most affected in a positive way by the welfare programs. And when we shift to the other side, why people in the Mato Grosso is like central west Brazil, and in this zone, it's where most of the agricultural like industry is located. So where like the whole economy of Brazil is made. Brazil is a capitalist country. It's a dependent capitalist country. It doesn't have a very strong industrial base capable of competing with any country like Europe or Canada, US,
When you
China,
say
Japan.
dependent capitalist country, you mean just like they're a capitalist country, but they depend on like on trade with other countries,
No,
or
it's just like dependent capitalism is a term a bit more towards what kind of role a country has in international allocation of labor. So for us in Brazil, our role is to be a big farm for the whole world. Like, let's say 80% of the economy or 80% of the exports of Brazil are and coffee, cattle, and orange, and among others. But it's all about this huge industry of this huge complex of agriculture that we have, and which is it's a manufacturer most of the times. It occupies a lot of land. It's about like producing one specific type of commodity for huge areas that are actually not being able to be used for anything else, and causes environmental problems, causes um, taking people away from especially like indigenous people from different areas. and and to tell you the truth, like, because because like the central part of Brazil is the flattest one, it's where it had became like, of course, historically easier to make this production. And obviously, when you have such a leverage, a political leverage, when your part, with what you contribute as a businessman to the economy, which is the case of this, which is the case of the agricultural, it's called bourgeoisie of Brazil. They have a lot of influence in what kind of politician they would like to have in the Congress. and and that's what we saw when Bolsonaro showed up. The first group of businessmen that supported him were the farmers of the central west, and then became like almost a cultural thing to be pro PL, the Liberal Party. Liberal Party is the Bolsonaro's party in that region.
oh, it makes sense. Does the agricultural industry in Brazil, do they put a lot of money into the political system, fundraising for candidates, and with
Yeah,
like putting a
a
lot into
lot.
like media messaging?
A lot. I mean, we've been seeing an insane number of investment in because I mean, it's